every Sunday. It's DJ Fish Show. On your radio every Sunday. It's DJ Fish Show.
Hey, people. Welcome. It's the middle of the month of October, and we're here live on yet another bubbly edition of your favorite Sunday infotainment. Music for your quality feet, running out of the Washington, D.C. area and coming to you live wherever you may be. Our goal each and every Sunday is to please, and I hope our mission is successful today as you climb up and join us live on Zoom, live on YouTube, a few live on Facebook at the moment, but you know that'll be going on very soon. Charlie, Fred is here and he's suck. Charlie, you guys, man, thank you for being on, but man, I should catch you on YouTube in a bit, or on Zoom with the rest. Or broadcasting out of the Washington, D.C. area live on Afro Star Radio and also live in Accra on Odadia Radio. Odadia Radio, one day I'll be there live physically. Present, Charlie. No shaking. See you in a bit. In the meantime, in between time, welcome. It's a nice and lovely Sunday afternoon. And you know what? Usually the house is all hustle and bustle all over the place, getting ready for another edition of MQF. Charlie, today is quiet. I'm alone. Oh, Charlie. No wife, no kids. How long will that last? I'm lonely. Oh, I'm here alone. Charlie, and I don't like doing the show alone. What's the solution? 1-800-CALL-FISHOW. But no, I'm never alone, man, because I know you have quality people out there as you join us on another edition of Music for Your Quality Feet. Sunday, October 16, 2022, dropping music and everything in between for the next 180 minutes or so. Reaching you live in the USA, broadcasting live. Accra, Ghana, I salute. Good to see you on there. Nice weather today. We live with Pa John and the crew over in Kanda. A whole group lined over in Kanda. And just when the show is about to start, one of them calls me FaceTime. Maya, what is wrong? If you know Maya, call him and tell him, but why you call for show FaceTime when the show is about to start? So Kanda, I know we got you live and we'll be talking to you later on. We'll see you out there. The UK crew, always nice and faithful. Always nice to be in touch with the crew over in the UK. Comnando Bill and Co, my man, Alfred Sakifio. And oh my goodness. The Arsenal fans, loud each and every day. Now it's even worse. But Charlie, like play Arsenal, they can do something. We've got to be careful with the Arsenal fans, man. We have to start treating them with a little bit of respect now. I mean, when you see them in town, you probably have to greet them appropriately, huh? If one somebody, we've laughed at them for a long time. Also, I'll be long struggling Arsenal fans. Charlie, this time we will monitor the thing properly. Otherwise, it could backfire. Liverpool wins 1, City 0, and who wins the whole thing? Arsenal wins overall. What a wonderful afternoon of football it's been. Chelsea Football Club, of course, doing what we always do, winning like we own winning. It really wasn't a good performance, though. So I will take the 3 points out there. Nice Sunday it is. Looking forward to today. Why? I told you about Breast Cancer Month. Every October we celebrate or we are part of breast cancer awareness. And one organization we've worked a lot with since we started doing this is Pink for Africa Foundation, set up by Juliet Mills-Lutrot. And Jules will be one of our guests this afternoon in about an hour and a half. And then the lady, Miss Century, Chewa Century. Chewa was out on the show about 2 years ago in October 2020. She was with us on this show when we talked about breast cancer awareness, and she took us off guard when she told us, gave us an update and said, cancer had entered her spine now. and it took me off guard, and all of us were sober on the show as we listened to her. And she spoke to us with confidence and with resilience. She was a strong individual. And I've seen her since then. We've had a whole lot of parties, had a wonderful time. And she always has a pleasant smile on her face. So she's become like an advocate for people who are going through breast cancer, and they're talking to her all the time. So Chewizi will be on the show as well in another hour and a half. And then, of course, our own resident oncologist, Dr. KB. Dr. KB was on last year and the year before, and we'll be talking to him today about any updates or any advances in the medical industry as far as breast cancer is concerned, and anything else connected to that. We'll be listening to them. So it's a lively panel out today. Do me a favor. Share the link. Share the link. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know what has happened today. I usually advertise the show on Facebook. So I have a Facebook audience out there. For some reason, I don't know how it works, but my followers have just, Facebook has been pulling people off, including, a very good friend of mine. I know he didn't block me or anything. Facebook just took him out there. So I can't reach the people I used to reach out anymore. It's down to like 6,000 or something followers. But even the followers don't even get the link. And I know that for those of you watching on YouTube right now, as soon as we switch into music mode, it will cut off. And that's why I put the YouTube link on there so we can join us on YouTube and or on Zoom. And that way you can listen to what Juliet will say. You can listen to what Chewizi will say. You listen to what Dr. KB will say. And that's for me. You can just join me and have a wonderful time. Okay. So Facebook, thanks for being on there, but we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for the stars. Dr. Yabua, nice one. Hey, I'm Martin Lyrics. I'll be Charlie. Me alone there, yo. Me alone there. Why? That's for me to know and you to wonder. All I can guarantee you is music will be coming to you 100% from the same place it comes from, my heart, and reaching you live wherever you may be for the next 3 hours or so. Zach, head to school safely. Mom, drive safely. See you in a bit. Everybody else, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Today I was going, for some weird reason, this week I've been listening to a lot of Tony Braxton music. I don't know why. I don't listen to music a lot. I mean, my free in driving, I hardly listen to music while I drive. It's either news or sports. But for the past 2 or 3 days, I listened to Tony Braxton, and there's really no reason why I can't pinpoint. So that's what I was going to start with today. Until this morning, I woke up and I saw the news of Joy Sims. Oh, Joy Sims passed away earlier today at a young age of 63? Well, this is somebody whose music we've enjoyed so many times over the years. Joy Sims rocked us in the club over in the 80s and in the 90s, not necessarily in the club, but almost everywhere you were, you would hear something, come into my life, or you are my all in all, stuff like that. And we'll try and play some of her music today as we remember Joy Sims. Okay, may she rest perfectly in peace, and thank you for all the memorable moments you've given us, Joy. So welcome, of course. Our show is brought to you each and every week by kind courtesy of Remitly. You're traveling all over the place. You're like Nana Sapo. You're going somewhere where nobody knows where you're going to. We'll see Nana. I know where he is, though. He's in a country that he hasn't been to before. And so it'll be fun to have MQF live from there. But we'll see Nana Sapo somewhere in the show. The good thing is Nana didn't take money when he was going. Why? Because he knew he could rely on Remitly. Remitly, where you can send somebody money without carrying money through the airport, Charlie. You don't want all those sniffing dogs sniffing you whilst you're entering the plane. You have so much money in your back pocket. What's the point? Just travel, and you can still get your money by using what? Remitly. And not just to yourself, but you can send money to your friends and family in Ghana from your home, and they can get the money the way that is most convenient to them, in their bank accounts, in their mobile money, or cash pickup. Any which way, Remitly is good. Charlie, the economy this time will be small. Man, things have gotten expensive, and next week is going to get crazy with gas prices going up. Charlie, OPEC won't reduce the oil in the system to Charlie. Biden couldn't let them extend it. So now gas prices will go up. Yesterday, I went to buy gas at Sam's Club, or petrol, whatever I would say. The line. Hey. I mean, how much is petrol? Like $4.29 a gallon. The line. The experts say in the next 2 weeks we will like $6 and so. So if you are those who like driving quarter tank, I beg you, go fill up your gas. Or if you have opportunity to work from home to enjoy it and have a smile on your face. For those of us who drive through traffic, oh Lord have mercy. Well, you're grateful we can afford it. God help us all. Welcome to the show. Remitly it is, taking us safely through the next 180 minutes. Breast Cancer Awareness Sunday it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
On your radio every Sunday, it's DJ Fish Show. On your radio every Sunday, it's DJ Fish Show.
The incredible Joy Sims kicks us off on Music for Equality Feat, show number 25. Oh my goodness. Hits after hits after hits she had as we enjoyed growing up. The music of our youth coming your way for the next hour or so. Stay tuned. Joy Sims. Oh, Charlie. Her voice is bringing back so much memories. Rest in peace, Joy Sims. Come on.
Together as one, not two, we shine like diamond ice. And I'll show you sweet melodies that you want and need. When you're feeling bad, I put a smile on your face. Hey, hey, can you tell me what price must I pay?
Nana Sewa, Ninette, I see you've kicked it off early already. May, oh, May, it's a Delaware party. Maureen, good evening to you. I was going to mix this song, but I wouldn't. I'll cut it and play another Joy Sims song.
You're in the mix with DJ Fish Show.
You are the love I've been searching for. You hold the keys which unlock all mine. Stop and close doors. All of my secret lovers will no longer see. If in my heart I know you'll stay in love with me. What I have to offer is a lifetime love. My love has no limits like the skies above. What I have to offer is a lifetime
Lifetime Love is what she called this one. She ruled the 80s, early parts of the 90s as well. Joy Sims.
Satisfaction's guaranteed. Oh, you know that. You are the love I've been searching for. I'll shine this love on you so strong you feel the need for more. What I have to offer is a lifetime of guarantees. If in my heart I know you'll stay in love with me. What I have to offer is a lifetime love. My love has no limits like the skies above. What I have to offer is a lifetime You are the love I've been searching for. You hold the keys which unlock all mine. Stop and close doors. All of my secret lovers will no longer see. If in my heart I know you'll stay in love with me. What I have to offer is a lifetime love. My love has no limits like the skies above. What I have to offer is a lifetime love.
You're in the mix with DJ Fish Show.
Hey, Nana Sapon, live from. Do I need to mention it?
First man,
I can.
all in all, to me I felt no sweat. To me, you're all in all, the way I feel for you is somewhat of a dream come true. For you, I will stand tall because you are my all in all. There are times that I'm with you that I never
For sure.
For you, I will stand tall. You, I love you most because for you, you are my all in all. Into your world for me is the place that I want to be. I want to be inside your arms. Take me. Drop my love and I'm sure you see that's the way I feel about you. Everyone in love should feel I'm so crazy about you. Try my love, let's make this real. All I want to do is please you. I never want to let you go. You just say that you need me, and our love will grow and grow. You are my all in all. For you, I will stand tall. You, I love you most because for you, you are my all in all.
Another classic from the lady Joy Sims. As we come to you live out of Turkey. Nana Support kicking it live out of Turkey, man. Me, what's going on, man? Delaware is popping live. Ninette's around the corner as well. Nana Sewa kicking it live. Facebook family, Nana Yaprempe. I know I'll see you on YouTube. No shaking about that one.
You made me happy. This you can get. You stood right beside me, yeah, and I won't forget. And I really love you.
Baba Forces, good afternoon.
You should know. I wanna make sure I'm right, girl, before I let go. We've had a good time. That's what they say. We've heard in each other. Girl, it's a shame. I won't be foolish, no. I wanna know
For those of you who went to school at Howard University, you know the song is a big deal at Howard, man. And yesterday in the DC area, massive football game. Howard University versus Harvard University. HU versus HU. And you should have seen the cheerleaders dancing to this one yesterday, man. Hey. Hey.
Come on, y'all. I wanna know before I let you go. I gotta know. I need you, baby, like flowers need rain, and only you alone can ease the pain. I need your love desperately. You don't need no money, 'cause my love is free. What are we gonna do about it, baby? I need your loving. What are we gonna do about it, girl? Sweet, sweet loving. What are we gonna do about it, baby? Life is a fantasy, baby, just for you and me. Nothing but a fantasy.
Tina Bannerman, long time no see.
It's time that you and I should start anew. Why hesitate? Time won't wait. You better hurry before it's too late. What are we gonna do about it, baby? Give me some loving. What are we gonna do about it, girl? Your sweet loving. What are we gonna do?
On your radio every Sunday, it's the DJ Fish Show.
Nova, good evening to you. Hey, hey. Kofi Bewa, no doubt. KTK special. As we rock it old school. Come on.
I won't pretend my heart is gonna mend till you're here with me. You were more than a friend. Wish I knew it then. Now it's plain to see. I said goodbye. Yeah, never thought that I'd the sun and we'll know that we're free. We can talk all night. We'll be together and stay forever. When the world is sleeping, in all the mystery, you see the real me. Ooh, it's where I'll be. You know. People talking drive me crazy. I won't be judged by people I don't know. If you want me, you can find me in the only place that feels like home. Ooh, let it rain, let it go on me. 'Cause I found your love, and the day will come. We'll dry the tears in the warmth of the sun. We can talk all night. We'll be together and stay forever. When the world is sleeping, in all the mystery, you see the real me. We can talk all night. We'll be together and stay forever. When the world is sleeping, in all the mystery, you see the real me. Oh, it's where I'll be.
Traveling through the night and going nowhere. Going wherever my car takes me. Moving down the line. With my friends in the back, radio's blasting. Music's in the air. Looking out into the night, bright lights flashing. And girls so fine. I'm just cruising, cruising. Girl, I'm just cruising, cruising. I'm just cruising, cruising. Girl, I'm just cruising.
He visited Ghana back in 1991. And I was privileged to hang out with him one Saturday night. Very cool and calm, man.
So clear.
One of the Jackson Fives, Jackie Jackson.
My prized possession. You better watch where you place your hand. Looking through the mirror, watching out for the law. I've got tickets to last a year. I just can't stop walking to the beat in my machine. So let the people know they're done. Well, I'm just cruising, cruising. Girl, I'm just cruising, cruising. I'm just cruising, cruising. Girl, I'm just cruising, cruising.
On your radio every Sunday, it's DJ Fish Show.
like sunshine and rain. Love can be bitter. Love can be sweet. Sometimes devotion and sometimes defeat. The ones that you care for give you so much pain. Oh, but it's alright. They're both one in the Don't it see me go through life, going up and down? Seems the things that turn you on, turn you down. Always hurting each other. If it ain't one thing, it's another. When the world is down on you, love somewhere around. And I want you to know that you're more like sunshine and rain. Ooh, joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Hey, 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 sunshine. One more time. Hey, 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 sunshine. Over and over, you can be sure there will be sorrow, but you will endure. Where there's a flower, there's the sun and the rain. Oh, but it's wonderful. They're both one in the
On your radio every Sunday, it's DJ Fish Show.
Juliet, and of course, Stanty. What a week you've had, man. Bro, happy birthday. Hey, Lyrics and the kids, how are you, man? The garage. Hey, Oko, you've got the rhythm, huh?
Climb the mountain. What mountain? Swim the sea. What sea? See what I mean? No. I don't know, but I don't want to get too deep. Bridge.
Hey, my MP, Gisela Tete, good to see you on there, man. Nada Tabika. Also, Lobby and all the Arsenal fans, Charlie, I beg you, this is your time. Enjoy. Let's go. Adelaide, how are you, man? I saw you rocking it last night over at Temples. My man Sebe, welcome to town, man. Sophie Arthur, Rosemary Obuba, welcome, guys. Amapoku, Ivy Rose, it's a party.
Spin like a merry-go-round. Take control like Charles in charge. I really can't wait, let's stay in the garage. Oops, let me run upstairs, I get the whipped cream. Can't have ice cream without whipped cream. Plus an ice cube to make you swing. My main man did it and do the right thing. Come on, let me tickle you in all the right places. Keep my eyes open while I watch you make faces. Feeling quite dandy, comfortable and cozy. Let me draw the curtains cause my neighbors are nosy. So make a little room, here comes Big Daddy. Big like a truck, satisfying like a caddy. Many are cold, but the chosen are few. I wanna know, is it good to you? Is it good to me? I like it. Is it good to you? Is it good to me? I like it. Make a move, my lollipop cutie. Lay down on the cover, let the lover do his duty. It looks like rain, but rain doesn't matter. We can take time, hold hands, chit chatter. And what about love? Love's a possibility, but let's make sure we share the same mentality. Close the door, dim the lights, everything is okie dokie, copacetic, alright. And how about oil? Warm from the heat, I can stick your body down from your head to your feet. Make you smile from a simple kiss. Close your eyes and I'll grant your first wish. Open your arms and wrap me tight like a teddy bear. Then take your fingers and run it through my hair. Many are called and the chosen are few. But all I wanna know, is it good to you? To you, cause believe me when I tell you, it feels good to me. Roll over my lover, the sun is beaming, the hot water's running and the bathroom steaming. Champagne bottle in the corner half done, rose still white from the morning sun. Yeah, we snuggled up, now it's time to buckle up. So call me Lady Cutie and I'll pick you up. Many a call, but the chosen are few. And all I wanna know, is it good to you? Is it good to you?
Music from Heavy D. As we creep 9 minutes to the top of the hour live.
Come on, sing it, baby. Come on, let me hear it.
Juice Mills Lutra. And of course, Che Weezy.
Come on.
Two wonderful ladies coming up in the next 30 minutes or so.
Come on, sing it.
Next song coming up reminds me of them very well.
Every Sunday, it's DJ Fish Show.
Well, I finally got my nerve up. And I asked that girl her name. Oh yeah. She softly whispered in my ear. Boy, she said my heart a pain. You know, a girl is so fine. She is gonna make me blow my mind. A girl is so fine. A girl is you know, find a way to make her mine. A girl is so fine. I gotta make her mine. A girl is she is gonna make me blow my mind. A girl is so fine. A girl is got to find a way to make her mine. I gotta make her mine, make her mine.
Hey, Winnie Vondi. Metside wo krumpa. Neo too. Good evening to you, man.
I know some people, no matter what you say, it's in their attitude. They bitch and moan all day. I may be wasting time, 'cause time is all I really got. I'm thinking positive, can't deal with people that are not. They just bring you down, bring the bring, they turn around, stab 'em in the back. Look out, stab 'em in the back. They just haven't tried another way, the other side. Whoa, 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 generate love. And the feeling will surround you. Generate love. It's not hard to do. Generate love. And the people all around you. Generate love. They give it back to you. No use complaining, 'cause opportunity, it don't come knocking, it don't come easily. I go for what I want, nobody's giving it away. Sometimes it just don't click, you can't be nothing else that day. I don't sit around, criticize, tearing down everyone I know. Not the way to go, oh no. Ain't no way to win, you only get what you put in. Whoa, 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 generate love. And the feeling will surround you. Generate love.
To my Canadians on board. Yeah, whoa. Charlie Motown 86 representing today, man. I'll say be on board.
I know they'll give it back.
I'm up on.
Generate love. Yeah. Generate love. Generate love. Generate love. Generate love.
On your radio every Sunday, it's DJ Fish Show.
Like a warrior that fights and wins the battle. I know the taste of victory. Though I went through some nights consumed by the shadows, I was crippled emotionally. Somehow I made it through the heartache. Yes, I did. I escaped. I found my way out of the darkness. I kept my faith. I know it did. Kept my faith. endless delight.
Right there, one of my favorite songs, no doubt about that. If you know me very well, you know that's one of my favorites. I knew you were waiting. Music from Aretha Franklin and George Michael. I keep getting texts on my phone. What's up? So are you live today? Yes, I am. I don't know. So just do me a favor if you're on YouTube, just send the link to somebody you know. If you're on Zoom, you can give them the Zoom ID. But yes, I am. I know Facebook is not very friendly, but on YouTube and on Zoom, and of course on Afro Star Radio and Odadia Radio live in Accra, we are getting ready for the interview pretty soon. Chewy's in the building, Juliet's in the building, of course, Dr. KB coming up pretty soon. In the meantime, inside we go. Old school, let's roll. Coach Zeneca, good to see you on the... Live from Mexico. Hey, Teddy.
I knew it wasn't right. Never thought that I would ever meet a girl so fine, so fresh, who could rock my world off guard. I'm caught into her web. Felt like I apologize, but I have to step. Got a feeling, a hunch by the look in her eyes. She's my inspiration. I need her in my life. You know that is true. You can call me crazy. You can call me crazy.
All right, then, inside MQF. 25 shows of quality feet after 100 of quarantine feet. Keeping it rocking each and every Sunday. Today, I'm jumping up and down. Look, I've told you several times. I mean, no doubt about it. I've been playing music since I was young, so I can't hear. My hearing is very low. I'm the guy who listens to the TV volume very loud. And every Sunday, I turn it up to a certain volume so I can hear and I can mix. And Belinda still complains that it's too loud. Today, I told you at the beginning of the show, I'm the only person in the house today. Hey, Charlie, they play it loud and I'm alone. I'm excited like crazy. Hey, you can call me crazy. That's what the music says. Guy, as we creep in slowly, 25 minutes to the interview session. I'm on fire like crazy. Hey, 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 hey.
I've seen times when I used to hang all night, girls back to back. I knew it wasn't right. Never thought that I would ever meet a girl so fine, so fresh, who could rock my world off guard. I'm caught into her web. Felt like I apologize, but I have to step. Got a feeling, a hunch by the look in her eyes. She's my inspiration. I need her in my life. You know that is true. You can call me crazy. You can call me crazy. You know I'm hooked on you. I guess I'm strong now. Whatever you may call it, it's love without a doubt. Can't fight this feeling so strong. I need a love tonight. I don't care what they say. I know this love is right. You know that it's true. You can call me crazy. You can call me crazy.
And you are fine. You've been around for a long time. I love it, but not like now. Something has changed and I don't know how. I'm at the point of no return. I'm at the point of no return. I'm at the point of no return. I'm at the point of no return.
Are we okay on the audio side? Everything cool? Zoom and YouTube, you all right?
Get ready, baby, tonight. Gonna make this a night to remember. Get ready, tonight, baby. Gonna make this a night to remember.
When you trust someone and you know you're on their back, you ain't got no trusting about you. And you claim that you don't care where I'm at. You've given me reason to doubt you. Say you trust someone while you calling all around. Think I'll get some dip on the side. Girl, you don't trust no one. And you're constantly in doubt. You lose the game if you play that way. Ain't nobody humping around. When you love someone and you wanna love them right, got to get more loving about you. When you know that you're holding on too tight, soon they will be leaving without you. Say that you love someone, why you calling for my friends, thinking I got something to hide. Girl, you don't love no one. You don't know what love's about. You lose the game if you play that way. Ain't nobody humping around. No. Girl, if you trust someone, you don't call on everybody. Ain't nobody fooling around. And the more I think about it, you lose all your clout and you lose the game, baby, if you play that way. Money is brown, that's what I'm called. So don't try to step to me wrong on your false road, cause I just wanna kick soul to you. Maybe take control of you. Just like I told you, I wanna roll with all the shit that's moving. I'm gonna make you move and grooving. Leave you like ooh when I touch you. Feel you so much, the feeling of the death that I'm feeling when I pump you up and down. You stop it.
Well, I know it's been a while since you heard a change in the style. So what I'm gonna do is keep yourself to fly and new a change. Different from the typical. I'll get for the regular, not like the others original. Cause your originality and creativity added up together equal the BBB posse. Yeah, we in a house, yo, kick it. I can't tell you why these things continue to happen to me, but some people get so jealous of the smallest of all things. I try to help some friends to help themselves to get their lives intact. They came out spreading rumors, now I have to come out spreading facts. Let me tell you how it started and where it all began. I guess I was a social friends. They told me if I'd help them, they'd be in debt for life. But when I turned my back to give support, they stabbed me with a knife. Oh no, jealousy. No, I don't want that talk around. I don't need jealousy. No, I don't want that talk around. You came out spreading rumors because you were so jealous. You didn't understand that we were on your side. Tell me why not, fellas? You let some people guide you in the wrong direction. From the truth you cannot hide, so don't go look for no protection. I didn't understand it then, and you know I just can't now. You know I tried to help you out, and now it's me you're trying to clown. But let me tell you, partner, you won't come out ahead. All this jealousy will do is make you lose it all instead. Oh, no, jealousy.
And there he is, live from Turkey. Nana Sapon joins us, and the message in the music is simple: jealousy. If you can't join him, are you jealous? Enjoy.
Jealous folks cause trouble, yapping all the time. You know they're listening for rumors so that they can drop a dime. They run from place to place, just telling half the story. Because they're always trying to down someone and take their fame and glory. If it hasn't happened to you, just give yourself some time. I think you know the symptoms when a jealous person drops a line. I think I'll write a letter that sums it up the best. I'll have to write it in big letters with my business, please don't mess. Oh, jealousy. I don't need jealousy. I don't need jealousy. I don't want that. Jealousy, I don't want that talk around. I don't need jealousy. I don't want that
The old school professor.
Whenever time is falling, you know the spirit of the party starts to come alive. Till the day is dawning, we can throw out all the blues and hit the city lights. Cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night. Give me the night. You need the key action. A place to dine, a glass of wine, a little late romance. It's a chain reaction. We'll see the people of the world coming out to dance. Cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night. Give me the night. So come on out tonight, and we'll leave the others on a ride to paradise. And if you feel alright, then we can be lovers. Cause I see that starlight look in your eyes. And don't you know we can fly? Just give me the night. Give me the night. Cause there's music in the air and lots of loving
everywhere. So give me the night. Give me the night. So come on out tonight, and we'll leave the others on a ride through paradise. And if you feel alright, then we can be lovers, 'cause I see that starlight look in your eyes. Don't you know we can fly? And if we stay together, we'll feel the rhythm of the evening picking us up high. Never mind the weather. We'll be dancing in the street until the morning light. 'Cause there's music in the air and lots of love and everywhere. So give me the night. 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 Give me the night.
If I had a choice, I'd always choose love. Up or down, good or bad, I don't mind, just as long as it's real. My friends say I'm lucky, lucky, lucky to have found someone as good as you. My love's understanding, understanding how to hold on to you. After all that we've been through, time won't change the way I feel about you. Out of all the loves before, you're the finest I've ever known, finest I ever. If I had to choose, I'd be by myself. I wanna be in love, but with nobody else. Time flies when you're with me. Go so slow whenever you're away. Made up my mind and I'm positive. A better love will never come my way. After all that we've been through, time won't change the way I feel about you. Out of all the loves before, you're the finest I've ever known, finest I ever. After all that we've been through, time won't change the way I feel about you. Out of all the loves before, you're the finest I've ever known, finest I ever.
Change is all around. We're gonna make it, yeah. It's just a matter of time. Days like this, in need of a friend, someone strong whom you can depend, give you direction. It's just a matter of time. Weigh the scales of right and wrong. You know, ask yourself what's going on. Make the most of all you do. It's up to you. Hey, stand up. Oh, stand up. You got to work it out. Take a look. What do you see? What a beautiful world this would be. Hold your head up. Hold your head higher. Weigh the scales of right and wrong. You know,
Professor.
When you know the one you always need hasn't been around, all the joy and all the love they had is nowhere to be found. 'Cause when you show it, you know I can't ignore it, yeah. And girl, you no longer move or shake it and groove anymore, yeah, baby. You know I need your love, so why can't you understand? 'Cause I really know there's something between me and you. Girl, please stay, hang tight. Hang on in there. 'Cause you know you are my type. Just hang tight. Hang on in there. Be with me tonight. Now you don't know what you're doing to me. I want you for my girl. You must understand that wonderland is only in fairy tales. You're gonna blow it. You're moving too fast to know it, yeah. Girl, I got what it takes to make it. Come on, oh, get out, girl, yeah. Ooh, I need your love. So why can't you understand, yeah? I really know there's something between me and you, girl. Hang tight.
Man, massive tune. Kenny Berg doing his thing right now. 28 minutes into the second hour of the program. Mayman Koze, I see you live. Good to catch you on the Kwe Manyoka. Kwe. And of course, Messi Dugate live. Hey, Kia to Bra, no doubt about that one. Nana Sewa is going crazy. Maureen, Amapoku, Akostra, AstraZeneca. We live to the YouTube family. Adole. Mame Saksa, Kwame Chimesi, Buju.
Be with me, girl. Get up, girl.
You got to hang tight.
Yes, work it up, girl.
You got to hang tight.
All right, then it's a special program today.
But wait,
One more tune and then I will go straight up
You got to hang
to the next segment in the program. Hold tight.
we got to stick and stay.
I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power, just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there.
DJ Fish Show. The old school professor. Old school professor.
I have no choice. I hear your voice. Feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me when you call my name. It's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you me down. Just like news to me. You are a mystery.
Like a prayer. Oh, I could see audio again.
You see.
Hey, what's going on this side?
Just like a prayer. Your voice can take me down. Just like news to me. You are a mystery. Just like a dream. You are not what you see. Just like a prayer. Just your voice can take me there. Your voice can take me there. Like I want your love. I want your love. I want your love. I want your love. Do you feel like you ever want to try my love and see how well it fits? Baby, can't you see when you look at me? I can't kick this feeling when it hits. All alone in my bed now, I grab my pillow and squeeze it tight. I think of you and I dream of you all of the time. What am I gonna do? I want your love. 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 I want your love.
A little weird on the audio side. Sounds everything looks clean on this side, but I'm getting the feedback. Let's just work on that, and then we'll come to you. Anyway, any moment from now, you know what's coming up.
Sometimes,
The founder and CEO of Pink for Africa.
like you never really had a love that's real. Well, here I am, and
Julius Mills Lutrot will be on.
a better love.
Our own oncologist special, Dr. KO KB
One chance,
Osebi will be on.
show love like no other.
And of course, a fan of the show and a breast cancer survivor herself,
On your love,
Chewa Century will be on as well. I see Jules getting ready
I want your love.
in the
Please
background.
don't make me beg. I want
Hope the audio should be that cool by then.
your love.
Jules, it's not a party. I know you can dance non-stop.
I want your love.
Show brought to you always by kind courtesy of Remitly.
Your love.
And coming your way each and every Sunday. We'll set everything right in the background and we'll be with you right away. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. Hold on tight.
Your love.
my strong, independent women. Yeah. Salute. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. The gift of life astounds me to this day. I give it up for the woman. She's the constant wind that fills my sail. Oh, that woman. 'Cause with a style and a smile, she'll protect you like a child. That's a woman. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to a higher place. So don't you underestimate strength of a woman. Strength of a woman. I woke up this morning, I gotta put a scent of a woman. Now picture if you would what life would be. It ain't much good without that woman. Yeah. She can be a constant pain. Oh, that woman. But with them hips, she's got me whipped, and it's just too hard to resist. What a woman. Yeah. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to a higher place. So don't you underestimate strength of a woman.
Strength of a Woman is the title of the song. And that's precisely what we're doing right now. Speaking to three of our guests today. From Pink for Africa, founder and CEO Julius Erawalk Mills Lutrot. One of our own and a good friend of the show and a survivor, Chewa Saint-Ray. And then later to be joined on the show, Dr. Osei. The Strength of a Woman is what we're playing right now. As we remember what we celebrate in all the awareness we create in the month of October. Every October, people all over the world show their support for everyone affected by breast cancer. And we do the same thing right here on our own show and from our little corner music for your quality feet. Breast Cancer Awareness Month and beyond. However you're expressing or you're experiencing breast cancer, there are people who will always listen to you and people who will talk to you. And today we'll start it off. Let me go right away instead of wasting time with all the nitty-gritty. These are two individuals you know already. Jules, how are you? Chewizi, how are you? Let's see if I can get you guys.
I am fantastic.
How are you both? You good? Okay. Jules, you had a busy day. I know you've been from program to program to program. I'm glad you're here now. Where are you actually? You were in Ho a few hours ago. You were somewhere else, and I don't even know where you are.
I am back in Accra. We did Ho for 5 days. It was amazing. And we're back in Accra. I spoke yesterday at an event when we got in and spoke today. Actually, I'm doing 3 events, 2 on Zoom. So it's been a busy few days, but it's always good to stay busy, you know. In the month of October, that's a good sign.
Well, you normally do these things with Pink for Africa in Accra. Seems you've been out of Accra this time around. Where have you been? What's new?
So we found out that last year we did the Anglogan leg. So we've done all the regions and we got to the Volta region. And the Volta region is quite big. So we split it up into 2. We did the Anglogan last year. And it was wonderful. We visited Kita Hospital. We had a chance to speak to the nurses. We did a nursing school. We did the different schools, a whole lot of churches. There's a lot of EP churches in the Volta region. So this year we found out that whole hospital had opened up an oncology department, and they were starting to serve women in that area. So we wanted to spread our wings with our donation that came in this year and support. We went in and donated to 17 women to help with their chemo and radiation, and also donated some prosthetics. We were received amazingly. The hospital is doing a fantastic job, and they actually have some survival rates. So some women came up and joined our speaking engagements, shared their stories, how they have made it through right there in Ho. So it was really wonderful to hear. Yes.
So Pink for Africa has been around for 10 years. Seen any massive improvement in Ghana between your beginning and now?
Well, we've been around for 12 years. The massive improvement we've seen is we're getting more diagnosis. So we need to create more support. We need to. This year, Pink for Africa raised the least amount of money we've ever raised. So the economy is tough. We know that it is hard on everybody, but we really urge you, we need more people with a little bit of money to create that bigger pot. Because the need is big. The need is all over. Now we are doing 3 hospitals. We're doing Kolebu, Okonfanochi, and Ho Hospital. This year, we also connected with Tamale Hospital.
Okay.
So we're going to be going to Tamale. Next year, we're going to start our journey to the north. And hopefully, we can begin to focus on early detection and paying for women to get their biopsies done, encouraging them to really focus on early detection. Too many women are showing up late, and that is really eating at us.
Still a problem. It's something,
it's
something you guys talk about every year, and it's sad. It's still a problem. Okay. Let me go to the lady in the middle of our screen.
Yes, ma'am. I'm dying to hear her.
I know. What should I say? Good morning.
Yeah, it's 3:15 where I am now.
Man.
AM?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm in bed.
I mean, this is one of the strongest women I know.
You're a soldier, man. You're a soldier. You're a soldier.
I told Chewa that we can record this during the week anytime she was feeling a little up to it.
Yeah.
She said, no, for sure, for MQF, I'm going to be up. I said, Chewa, I checked on Google. It's going to be about 3:30 a.m. in your place. She said, yeah, she's still going to be on. So first thing I'll say is thank you, and I am very grateful that you're here. You know, generally I ask everybody, how are you? First question. I think I'll stick to the same thing. How are you?
I guess I'm fine. I'm good. I'm still alive, so I'm fine. I'm good.
This is going to be a tough one. All right, let me go back to the first time we spoke about this topic. It was October 2020. Same thing, was you, Jules, and I think it was Cynthia Kwaku. We're all having a conversation, and then then you threw me off board with, you know, the breast cancer diagnosis that hit your spine, and it took me off guard because I didn't know what to say, and then Julius hit me on the back though. Yeah, I knew about it. Calm down, for sure, you're fine. And everybody marveled about your strength. And right after that, I've been with you through several parties. We've had a good time. We've been at restaurants. You helped us with our donations to the orphanages and everything. You've been strength of a woman was a song I was playing, and it just reminded me about you. 2022, how are you feeling now?
I don't know, but it looks like every time I'm coming on your program, something different throws at me. You were actually the first person. You actually found out before my son.
Oh,
my new, developments. I just got my PET scan, and Juice, I have not spoken. Have I spoken to you, or I sent you a message? I think.
Yeah, we were chatting.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, well, it's actually progressing. It's moved from the spine into the rib, and it's actually attacked another organ, the liver now. It's like, they go like you battling breast, and it looks like this cancer wants to battle me. It's taking a new strategy, but we are also going to go on the field and attack it the best way we can. Yep.
It's like I'm saying, you're a very, very strong individual. 2 years ago, you told us about the spine, and we knew you would be back after 2 years to talk to us again. This time it's the ribs and the liver. We know you'll be back in another 2 years to talk to us again. I mean, your strength is remarkable, because Jules, and I'll come to KB on that later. But Jules, have you found out that there are some people who get the diagnosis, and immediately after that the mentally alone, it crashes them and it doesn't help?
Absolutely. I fell apart when I first got the diagnosis. I think that that's a natural thing to do, but then your support system, one of the things that Chewa has surrounded herself with is a great support system. And I think that's the key. Her spirit is what attracts those people around her. So her staying positive, her fighting spirit is what pulls all of us and gives all of us hope to keep going. So I think that surrounding yourself with the right people, no matter the news. I tell people, when the doctor calls you and said, come, your results are in, please do not go alone. Go with somebody who is going to listen with you and pay attention to what the doctor is saying and be the immediate support for you. So it's important. That support is there. We all go through these fears. Some people, it breaks them so far down that it's very difficult for them to get back up.
For those who
so without the support, it's tough.
It's absolutely tough. For those of you who haven't met Chewa before, she's the liveliest person in the world. See how strong her voice is even at this moment in time, chilling with you at 3 in the morning.
Yes, she is.
Well, just a refresher. How long have you? When was the first time you got diagnosed, Chewa?
2003.
2003. So it's been 19 years. Survived with 19 years.
20. Actually, I started my treatment 2003, but it was 2002. So 20 years, actually.
20 years, surviving with it for 20 years. And you've had almost everything. I mean, through it all, double mastectomy, spreading from one place to the other, and still fighting strong. Dr. KB is with us, oncologist. KB, you've handled breast cancer situations ever since you started going to that field. How do I put this? Oh Lord, this is a harder interview than I thought. This is nothing new, right? What she's going through, you've seen that before, and you've seen people come through it, right?
Yes, unfortunately, that's sort of the progression of breast cancer. But let me first start by giving Chewizi a shout out. You know, we did this 2 years ago, and then last year. It's just amazing. It's just amazing to see you keep coming back. Just what Jules said. You know, I've always found that there's something about breast cancer. In fact, all the different cancers, I mean, people go through a lot. But I just find, I think for sure you played the song with strength, right? Strength of a woman, strength. And I even ask my patients, because sometimes I'm amazed at how they keep doing this. You know, just imagine that you've been given a diagnosis. Sometimes you've been given a prognosis. You've been told you have this amount of time to live, and they still keep coming back. They're still doing, not just coming for treatment, but all the different things. They come out to the cancer center and talk to people. They live their lives. And I'm just in awe. And then these patients really inspire me. You know, sometimes we all think that you're having a bad day. And then if I get up and I think of all the different people that I treat, you know, and you see what they're going through, then, you know, you realize that, you know, that the strength and the inspiration they give you makes you keep going on. So thank you. Thank you, Jay Weezy. And thank you, Jules, also for everything that you do. You know, it's amazing that and I know Fisher will talk about some different things, but this awareness is huge. Do you know, I just noticed that most of the new patients that I see for breast cancer, they come in around November, December, because you ask them what happened, and invariably, some kind of breast cancer awareness made them go and get their mammogram. Right. So all the things you do that you think, people actually pay attention. You reach.
Thank you.
It's amazing, that every time, November, December, and then there's always going to be that person that said, yeah, I went to this program. I heard all this stuff about pink and this, and I went to get my mammogram. And
right.
But it saves lives because as you know, I mean, we've made great strides in breast cancer. And the biggest reason is because of early detection. Early detection is the biggest thing that's helped with breast cancer. Most people get diagnosed with early stages. Survival is great, decreases the risk that they have recurrences. So thank you for everything you do. Now,
Doc, it's so good to see you here. Thank you as well for always coming up and sharing.
It's great to come back, and it's almost like we reconvene. Especially, it's always great seeing Cheweezy.
Yes, I look forward to this.
So now to go back to your question, for sure. Yes. So I think what you're getting at is recurrence. So that's this comeback. Fortunately, the risk of recurrence if you get diagnosed early is low. So when you talk about breast cancer recurrence, the biggest predictor is the stage. So if you have early stage breast cancer, your likelihood of recurrence is less. Stage 1 breast cancer, maybe about 4 or 5% of people will have a recurrence. But actually, even that doesn't mean that those people can still be treated. So we are still very aggressive with surveillance, especially when you've had breast cancer. So we still make sure you come back every 3 to 6 months. We do an exam, we do your mammogram. And I think that at least the good news is that people who've had breast cancer are at least pay attention to coming back and doing their surveillance. So that's a good thing. But despite everything you do and everything Cheweezy did, she had treatment, she did everything she was told. Unfortunately, there's still a risk of it coming back. And sometimes you get very late recurrences, especially those who have the estrogen receptors and the progesterone receptors. I would predict, Cheweezy, that you had estrogen receptor and progesterone receptor. Yeah, because I mean, if you tell me you've been since 2003, I know that that's what you had, because those folks would typically, as part of their treatment, get put on tamoxifen or some kind of estrogen pill. So it protects them. But, in the old days, we used to only do it for 5 years. Now we know that 10 years is better than 5 years. So we do it for 10 years. But unfortunately, there's going to be a small segment of people who, after they get off the hormone receptors, and even some people can still have a recurrence while they're on it. So we see later recurrences in your case. It's those who come in with, breast cancer that's already spread to the lymph nodes, they have a higher risk. Their risk is about 10 to 15% over 10 years that they will have a recurrence. It's a little less if you had early stage 1, it was just limited to the breast, but it's still about 4 or 5%. So yes, we do see this and we treat them.
Okay. And KB, with you, I know every year all around conferences and stuff, new treatments since the last time we spoke.
Yes. So they're always, that's actually, besides treating breast cancer, that's the biggest thing in cancer, is always looking for new treatments and better treatments. Because as you know, chemotherapy is not vitamins. It's not the easiest thing. It's not like blood pressure pills. They're toxic. In fact, the old chemotherapy that I'm sure most of you have had, Cheweezy, if you had chemo back in the day, and Jules, I used to think of them as weed killers. That's what we jokingly call them in the field.
Yeah.
So the way the old chemotherapy drugs were developed is that basically we know that cancer cells are basically cells that are normal cells. They grow quicker, just like weeds. It's like you have your rose garden and then the weeds come in And when you water it, the weeds tend to grow faster. They use up all the nutrients and then they kill the roses. So that's basically the way we think of cancer. So most of the old drugs were developed to kill cells that were developing, that were growing quickly. That's how they worked, because we know that cancer cells grow quicker. The problem, as you can imagine, is we happen to have cells in our body that also divide quickly, like your hair, you know, or the cells that line your stomach or your colon. So while you're treating the breast cancer with these drugs that are killing off cells dividing quickly, yes, disproportionately, you might be killing off more breast cancer, but you lose your hair. You get nausea, you get diarrhea, you get all these undesirable side effects because the drugs are really just killing off cells dividing quickly. They're not very specific for cancer cells. So now we've gotten smarter. So the new paradigm, and that's where the exciting stuff with drug development has always been looking at things that are more specific to cancer cells. So basically, they develop drugs, the breast cancer, there's all these markers that we look for, estrogen receptors, progesterone receptors, we already know that. There's a marker called HER2 that is more specific to the cancer cells. So a lot of new drugs are developed to kill HER2 because then you are targeting, actually call them targeted drugs. So that's sort of the new paradigm. We're looking more at a lot of targeted drugs. And they have less side effects because they kill cancer cells in a much better way and spare normal cells. You don't lose your hair. It's still not perfect. So that's really where we're going. In fact, the one that I'm most excited about is immunotherapy. I mean, you never used to see commercials on television for cancer drugs. Why? Because they were too toxic. Now, everywhere you look, you see this Keytruda and all these immunotherapy drugs because they're relatively mild. And what's exciting about them is that they actually rev up your own immune system to fight the cancer.
Okay.
So typically, it's your own immune system because actually the body, our own body, our immune system is supposed to defend cancer. The reason it doesn't work as well in cancer is that the cancer cells are very smart. So they make these proteins that slow down the immune system. So this new class of drugs, and that's sort of where it's going in breast cancer and most other cancers, they figured out a way to take off the brakes so they can actually get your immune system to work they're supposed to work and fight the cancer cells. Very little side effects, but they're not approved yet for the estrogen receptors, and they tried them in the triple negatives. So the triple negatives are those that don't have these receptors. So usually when we start there with the most aggressive breast cancer, and then it works its way towards the least. But that's very exciting in the field.
That is very, very, very exciting because that is the cancer that we're seeing more and more in West Africa.
Is the triple negative.
And we need a medication in a way that is so important. We're seeing it in younger and younger women.
Yeah.
So yes.
So that is really,
very exciting news.
Really changing the game. And the best part is that it's tolerable. So you don't have to worry about a lot of the traditional side effects. Because for younger people, they want to still be able to go to work. They want to function. And the old drugs, you're talking about neuropathy, nausea, diarrhea, these, you don't have as much of that. So the idea is, even for those who have metastatic breast cancer, because right now, that's the other thing in the cancer world, we always start out with where there's the biggest unmet need. So it's where is the metastatic breast cancer? Because the early ones, you're going to do surgery, you're going to do the radiation, and most people will be cured. But where
more percentage,
you need more help is where you need this person with the liver and the ribs and all that. So that's where we focus most of the development.
Let me even jump in before. Yeah, let me jump in there before she mentioned the liver and the ribs today. But I mean, so 2 years ago it was spine, and then you were okay, right? And then went back to Ghana. What was treatment like in Ghana? No problems. Everything was okay.
No, everything was fine, actually. I mean, I took my medication from here and I went to continue in Ghana. I mean, I did it for I was actually on chemo every week. You understand, for almost 11 months, and then they stretched it to three weeks. You know, and it got to a time, I think after 2 years or whatever, it was just about 4 or 5 months back. I mean, I actually just got fed up and I got tired. So I went off for a little while. I mean, I went off for about 4 months because I was really, really tired, you know. I mean, every week they were poking me, and mine is like, I mean, I have a chemo pot here. So I get some of my medication from my chemo pot. Then I get the Herceptin on my thigh and something else on my thigh. Then I take Fluorescent, which I take one on my left bum, one on my right bum. Then every week, every month, I was just being poked all over the place. You understand? And I just got tired, and I said, you know what? I mean, not that I'm not having this again, but I was giving myself a break because I was just tired. So I mean, some people are like divided. Some of them think that maybe because I went off for a while, you know, so maybe it found its way somewhere else. But then some people too think that, you know, I mean, really, it must have gone, it was going there anyway. So basically, it's not because I went off. So basically, we're just trying to find a new strategy. I just have to do radiation again, and then change my medication and see if it's going to control it for the next 4-6 months. Have another PET scan and see if the treatment that I'm going through right now will be good for me. Then I continue. So before, I was actually on Pegecta, I was on Herceptin, I was on Fluorescent, I was on Zaludroric acid, I was on, I mean, a whole of things. And, you know, it just drains you, you understand? Not only, I mean, financially, emotionally, physically, everything, it just drains you. So I was just tired, but I guess I'm going to be good. I'm going to try and be good.
Yeah. Doc, KB, going off for 4 months, dangerous or no? I mean, it happens, right? From her description, it sounds like I'll be frustrated too. And then taking a break. Is there something you've seen around quite often?
Yes. You know, just like you've seen here, we actually give people chemotherapy breaks for the same reason, because we know, you know, the problem is once you get stage 4 cancer, we consider it incurable. Of course, we believe in God.
Yeah.
So nothing is incurable. But stage 4 is not felt to be curable. So I always tell my patients, there's only 2 reasons in stage 4 cancer that you give people treatment. One is to make them live longer, and then the other one is to improve their quality of life.
Yeah.
So what we're getting into is quality of life issues. So if at some point your quality of life is not good, we actually give you a chemotherapy holiday. I believe in that, just because, you know, it becomes such a we give people chemotherapy holidays. So okay, don't feel bad.
Shouldn't feel bad.
Yes. We know that it's hard to keep doing all these things and come in and get not just chemotherapy, but some of these other things you're talking about that are shots. You know, they're really not chemotherapy. Zoledronic acid is just to build your bone, but they're giving you a shot every month. That's something you can take a break from. You understand? So that's not, you know, I don't think it's on you. We actually do that here because we realize that one of the things we're trying to accomplish is also to have an improvement in your quality of life. And sometimes the best thing is to take a break.
Yeah. So
you
don't feel bad about taking a break.
Breaks. So don't feel bad about taking a break. No, that's okay. And despite doing everything, sometimes you progress. So, you know, we cross that bridge, we change things around. So the battle continues, aluta, right? Aluta continua. Yeah. There's nothing you're doing wrong. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for another 2 years for us to sit back and discuss this again.
We keep pounding.
Yeah,
that's just how it works.
Yeah, it was a little bit disheartening, you know, because when I got back, because of COVID and everything, since the last time I spoke and I came here, I had not been here for like 2 years. more. So everybody was like, hey, she's back, she's back. I mean, they didn't want me to be back because of cancer, but then I was back. So they knew that, oh, okay, whatever it is that they had done with me was working, you know, so they were all excited. Oh, let's see how we can get you another 2 years, then another 2 years. So we were all joking, then another 2 years, then another 2 years, then another 2 years. Then I go and do the PET scan. You understand? I was expecting that maybe it would be the same way, because most of the scans that I did in Ghana were showing that it was not getting any bigger than or spreading. So I figured that, you know, that was what it was. But then I thought, like, worst case scenario, I could get a spread in the same organs. It was a little bit disheartening, though. I mean, I must say, when they did it and then it was like in different organs, then it means that, you know, it's like from the left breast to the right breast, then to the spine and the lungs, now the ribs and the liver. You know, it's like it's just attacking me everywhere. And
yeah, unfortunately, when you use drugs, they all get to a point where those drugs don't work, and we have to switch to different drugs. And in that space, they can become very aggressive because nothing is working until you get the new one on board to slow things down. And I think the strategy of using radiation and, you know, a mix of different things is also a good strategy, because sometimes you can't just throw just chemotherapy. For example, the thing in your spine, you know, they can radiate it to slow it down, and more importantly, take away the pain. Are you having significant pain in your spine? Because sometimes the spine.
Yeah, I get all these spams, and I used to get that a lot. I mean, every time in Ghana, and that was actually what brought me back, you know, because I just get the spams, and we'll go and do all manners of tests, and then they will go like, there's really nothing wrong with you. And so sometimes, so you see me about, I'm fine. I mean, I'm okay. Then all of a sudden, I'm sick. I can't do anything. And like for a week or two, I'm very sick. Then it just fades away, and I'm all over the place. I know people are like, but this girl, she was sick. We know she was sick just 2 days ago or just last week. So how come she's all over and bubbly and everything all of a sudden? But that's what happens. I mean, I get very sick, and all of a sudden it just fades away. Then I just get the attacks again. So I don't know how my system is working, but that's just how it's been going, you know. I mean,
well, 20 years.
20 years, and with all these things all over the place. I mean, you look at me, and if I tell you that I'm sick like this, you might say that this girl is crazy, because there's nothing wrong with her, because I look fine. And most of the time I feel fine.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I know.
actually don't understand.
And not just that,
why.
I got a message from somebody who's listening on radio and so can't see. It says, for sure, is the person speaking the cancer survivor? Yes, she is. Because your voice is so strong, it's hard for, you know, somebody who's not seeing to actually visualize anything. But Jules, I mean, I'm sure there are other people in Ghana with similar stories. What cancer, is there a survivors support group in Ghana? How is it doing? Do you get any feedback with that?
So there are different support groups. Each hospital has their own support systems in place. There are psychologists who are there to speak to patients. There are patient-on-patient support groups where survivors come and share their stories, encouraging the young diagnosed to be able to hang in there. And so there is some level of support system. But I have to tell you, you know, for me, one of the reasons why I do what I do is off of women like Che, who fight relentlessly and keep seeing the light at the end of the tunnel to give me hope, because I can have a reoccurrence. I lost a friend I was on vacation with in April, and by May, she was gone. So I say that to say that some cancers are, you know, rapidly growing, and hers was a reoccurrence. She was 51. She missed a couple of appointments during COVID, and it came back and it attacked her aggressively, and she was gone. She chose to spend her last days traveling and doing what she wanted. But I think that on the strengths of those who fight, my God, Shay, you have no idea what you do for us. You really, really hold the torch to all of us who have been through it and don't know what's around the corner for us. So thank you. Thank you for this spirit you have inside of you, because I need you more than you need me. Believe me. Believe me. Thank you. Thank
But
you. Thank you.
it's a hard time you guys put on me. I'll tell you this today, because I mean, most of the time I have to come out very, very strong and so strong, but sometimes inwardly I'm actually broken. That's
It's
the
okay.
truth.
And
Inwardly,
I
most of the
appreciate
time,
you
I'm
saying
actually
that. That
broken.
is okay.
And I just have to come out, because it's like everybody thinks and feels like I'm so strong. I'm some sort of Wonder Woman. So I come out, and I don't pretend though, but sometimes
No.
it's a little bit of a heavy weight over me, because sometimes I just want to be like when I was coming, everybody was like, I had to come with my son and everything. But I just wanted to have a me time. You understand? I mean, no matter what I was going to hear from my report, I mean, whether it was the same or it had progressed or whatever it is, I wanted to experience it alone. You understand?
We seem to have lost. She was volume.
Yeah, the volume.
Chewizi, I think you hit mute.
Wait. Chewizi, wait.
Wait.
I don't think she hit mute. I think it just the volume. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. I think the volume just went off.
Yeah.
Oh, she may have hit mute on her phone. Che, are you there? Che, are you there?
Otherwise, you can go out and come back in if it's giving headaches. On that, you can go out and come back in. Baby, it's for me, it's pretty normal. Everything she's describing and going through,
Absolutely.
and it's
absolutely. I mean,
but you know something she was describing, and I was taking it from that we all keep telling her she's superwoman, she's strength. Sometimes is that too much pressure for them as the individuals?
Well, I think we can't help but to tell them that, because we see what they do. But we have to recognize that it's not always that way. And it's even, like I said, even the greatest LeBron, who all these people, they have their off days, but you get to a point where people expect you to be, because of what you've done and what you've been able to accomplish. So I think that, because you keep seeing these folks coming, but there are days that for those of us who see people coming into treatment where they have their days where they're not upbeat.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
we understand.
she's human.
Yeah, it's a lot that we do, and it's a lot that they go through. But like I said, it's just their spirit, as you can see. And Jules, you thank Chewizi for everything she does. Well, I want to thank both of you, because
I was coming to Jules.
You guys also, I have to thank you for what you do. That's what keeps us going to work. If you're going in to see a patient like Chewizi, why wouldn't you be excited about what you do? So people will usually ask, because whenever you say you're an oncologist, the first thing they ask you, so is it depressing? Is it, they feel that it should be depressing, you lose patients. But you tell them, well, it would be, except you have patients like Chewizi, and these are the people who keep you going. They're fighting. So it makes you want to fight, be in their corner. And so we
Right.
for what they do to make us want to be in their corner.
Jules, I mean, this is with this thing you're doing over the past 12 years or so. It makes you build relationships with a lot of, people who have breast cancer that you didn't know initially. Then you develop relationships as you go along. Do you have to go
Right.
through issues of talking to them, personally, one-on-one statement, trying to give them encouragement like Chiwizi does? Does it get to you sometimes? I need a break as well from talking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting. George arrived today because after 2 weeks of being in the field, I start to feel it. I start to feel, the emotional breakdown.
And for those
And
of
I
you
hear
listening, George
Chiwizi.
is Juliet's husband. George is. She just
Yes. George arrived to spend the last 2 weeks of the month with me. And a few years, about 5 years leading to this, I would go back after the month and I'll say to him, I am just broken. I'm spiritually depleted. I am just emotionally because you see so much that you cannot help. You see so much on your way out of donating in a hospital. A woman will tap you and say, I didn't get some. And I need your help. And how do you walk away knowing full well she's not the only one? There are others who came who were not on the list you came to donate to. So you walk away as a human being, one, having the privilege to have been diagnosed outside of the country and having all of the access to the best of doctors, the best of nurses, the best of medicine. And here you come and you're trying to help, and it's never enough. So I think that it is something that as a human being, you can't help. And your own journey inwardly, like Chewa said, sometimes I just want to shut it down and just be alone and be by myself and process it on my own. And it's very much allowed. Sometimes you want to be angry. You meet patients who are very angry. Sometimes they are crying. Sometimes they are happy. All of those emotions are okay. It's okay. I know during my journey, I went through that, not to the extent of Chewa, because Chewa's been through it in multiple. I'm sure emotionally, the roller coaster is a ride. It's a huge ride.
When were you first diagnosed? When?
I was first diagnosed 14 years ago, April. April 14th, actually, was when I got my diagnosis. So, 2008 was when I was diagnosed. So it again, I've been in remission for 14 years. I'm grateful for it. I'm glad my cancer was caught very early. It was, before stage 1. And my doctor advised I do a full mastectomy on the left breast. And I'm glad I did. And going forward, just paying attention and following up. Now, they're keeping an eye on the right breast because I keep going back. They keep calling me. Now I want to, the next time I go in and they say, come back, let's do this, I'm going to say, stop. I need to just take the breast off. I don't want to hear it. Chewa, you feel me, don't you?
Chewa, what was it same with you? You went double right away, or you just went one at a time?
No, actually, I actually didn't even catch it the first time. I opted for a lumpectomy, and I was actually a grade 3. The first time I was a grade 3, and I had it in my lymph nodes as well. But then I opted for a lumpectomy, and then I did the radiation and I did a booster and everything, and then I went on to the chemo, and I did the hormone tablets, tamoxifen to Arimidex and the whole lot. I mean, even though I didn't take it like I was supposed to take it, though, but I mean, I did the whole lot.
Now, Juliet, your treatment was here in the US. Chewa, where was yours? All this thing you're talking about at the beginning.
In the UK.
In the UK, okay. I'm thinking in relation to Ghana. I just got a message from a doctor friend of mine who says most Ghanaian patients are diagnosed, because they come late, are diagnosed at stage 3 and 4. So within 2 to 4 years, most of them succumb. So I think it's our duty, or for those of us here on MQF and those who are listening, to push the early detection. You know, Jules has been saying that all the time. Chewa was saying that 2 years ago when he came, early detection. But Juliet, I still get a lot of people who, and I'm not joking, right on my WhatsApp forums and all that, a lot of people were saying, I'm afraid to go and check. If they go and if I go and they tell me something's wrong with me, I can't take it. So I'd rather not know. That's what you've been trying to do with Pink for Africa, right? Just get over that.
Yes,
stigma.
I have. So one of the stories I started to tell is, if I'm walking down a path and you tell me there's a snake around the bend, will I rather know so that I look out for the snake, or I'm going to pretend I don't know and not deal with it? It's very simple. This is your life you're playing with. At the end of the day, the early stages of breast cancer has no signs, no symptoms. You know, so catching early, when we say it is important, especially genetically where we come from and the type of cancer that they're seeing in the area that we come from, it is so vital to you to catching it early. And also you give the doctors a chance to be able to save your life. What I am seeing is, initially we were paying for a lot of women for their chemo and radiation. We've decided for the next 2 years to advocate for only early detection. So we're encouraging women to show up. We're going to pay for mammogram. We're going to pay for biopsies. We're going to pay for blood work. The early stages of the treatment of the beginning is what Pink for Africa is going to focus on. We're not going to wait for you to be late diagnosed to come in anymore, because we're realizing that we are not saving anybody. So we truly want to push all our efforts into early detection, early detection, early detection. That's the key, especially in Africa.
In Africa,
especially in Africa.
That's leading me to the next question to KB. KB, do we have these same problems here? People do not want to check.
We have it here, but it's not on the level that they have it in Africa.
Even within the African community, the patients you see.
Even within the African American community, where I think it's more disproportionately than the white community. But it's, again, because, you know, we have a lot of information, we have a lot of things that promote breast cancer awareness, and that's just what Jules is doing. And I'm pretty sure you've moved the needle since you started doing this, because back home too, there's a stigma about cancer diagnosis. And I think some of the effort you are doing is taking that stigma away. So people didn't even want to know, you know, there's a stigma about cancer. They don't tell anybody that they have cancer even when they have it till it's too late. Sometimes people even feel a node in the breast. It's not even, forget about even screening and catching it early. Even when I've talked to people back home where they actually found a lump in their breast, and it took them forever to go and get tested and diagnosed, even though they knew that it was probably breast cancer because of the stigma associated. So I think some of the effort you're doing is getting that stigma away. But I totally agree with you that, one, being in Africa, the most aggressive type, the triple negatives, we have it more for some reason. And that's also another area of research, that Blacks and African Americans tend to have this triple negative, which is aggressive. And this triple negative, you tend to get it at an earlier age. So we can't emphasize enough how important it is, especially for Africans, to go in and get screened and get diagnosed early, because we happen to have the type of breast cancer that's aggressive and that you can get earlier on in life. So I can't commend you enough for the efforts you're doing. And the other thing that you're harping on is that, you know, the reality is, you're right. Once you have stage 3 and stage 4, especially stage 4, the medications are so expensive. It's
yes,
you're going to be on something for the rest of your life.
Afford.
And if your resources are limited, you simply can't do too much. So if you have some resources and you can save 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people, you can use that limited resources on trying to help maybe 10 people that you might ultimately still lose. So, you know, it just makes sense. It's just the more cost-effective way of doing things. And And I totally applaud what you're doing. But that's the right way to do it. The emphasis is on,
Thank you.
awareness.
And I'm sure Che can even emphasize on the cost of what she is going through in terms of just being in Ghana, getting her treatment, paying for her medication, the breakdown of that, Che can emphasize on that because it is a lot of
You
money.
remember we had a discussion the day we met. We had lunch at your end, and then I brought this topic up, and I said that I don't know how the treatment goes for other people, because in Ghana, Herceptin, I mean, at that time when I was doing it was like $1,500 or $1,200. Then you have Projector, who is also another $1,500. Then you have the Fluvicent, which is also another $1,500 for one. So you put these things together, and sometimes you are spending almost $10,000 a month. How many people are going to afford? How many people are going to be able to afford that?
Yeah, we actually, it's real. We call it financial toxicity. When we talk about toxicities of cancer, we add financial toxicity. Even in the United States, it's a problem. So I can imagine in Ghana where people are paying out of pocket. Fortunately, in the US, most people don't pay. It's an insurance that people, but they're paying co-pays.
Yeah.
Even then, we ran into significant problems, especially in that stage 4 space where it almost becomes a chronic condition. So you're always on, these drugs are expensive. The only advantage we have here is that sometimes, you can apply for assistance through the drug companies, and, if people don't make enough money, then they can actually give them assistance to cover them. And that's a big part of what we do, is every time you're reapplying for financial assistance, but at least that's on the table. But if you're in Ghana, I can't imagine that.
So there are pharmaceutical companies, Roche is one of them, and they are actually partnering up with different hospitals. Think for Africa is actually joining forces with them. They are offering free Herceptin to quite a bit of patients. One of the struggles that they shared when I had a meeting with them on what they're doing with Kolebu, with Akomfanochi, with Ho, as well as the Tamale Hospital. And one of the struggles they're having is some of the women cannot afford transportation to come and get their treatment when they are giving them the treatment for free. So they're offering Herceptin, 18 cycles of Herceptin to the patients who need it. And they approached me to ask me, how can we help with their transportation to the hospital? Because some of the women cannot afford the transportation. That is how broken down economically some of our situations are. Some of them are so fundamental.
I mean, Echo, like what she's saying, I mean, when I got to Ghana, my Herceptin and Projector from Roche, because I went to Roche to pick them up, and then they sent me my bill. My bill was almost 300,000.
300,000 what?
Ghana cedis.
Oh my goodness.
For the Herceptin and this one for, was it 8 months or something like that, But can you imagine?
How many people can afford that?
And they tell you that you're supposed to be on this for the rest of your life.
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But then again, back to your question, right, about people being scared of going for their checkups and whatnot.
Yeah,
I can actually sit here and say that my situation is terminal. So basically, there's absolutely no need for me to even come here to come and check on my self, because I know it's terminal. I'm going to die anyway. You understand? But I'm still here because I still think that there's hope, and I can be treated, and my life can be they can the word is not even coming. They can make me live a bit longer. by giving me certain treatments. You understand? So I'm not giving up. So if you sit down and say that you're scared and you don't want to come for go and check and see whether you have it or not, you're actually killing yourself, because
Yes,
you
you
really
are.
have to go. You are killing yourself. You are killing your own self. You've got to go, and when you get diagnosed, there's always the possibility that you live longer.
That's right.
And
Longer than
there's a
staying there and
possibility.
not doing anything. I mean, mine was terminal 2 years ago, but I've crossed 2 years, and I have no intentions of dying. No, not yet.
No. I told you we're doing this interview again 2024 October, and
You know, I
you'll
have
be
no
here.
intentions of dying. I mean,
Not all. Not all.
so we are moving. We are moving on. We are going to find new strategies, and we are going to move on. But if I sat home, or if I sat down without coming or
Nothing.
doing further,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I'll just be there, and this thing would just engulf me and kill me.
KB, have you seen people with stage 4 live 10 years, 15 years?
Typically, for stage 4,
Yeah.
the median survival is about 5 to 7 years. But it depends. In the case of Chewizi,
You've added two years to it.
we've added more. Yeah, we keep adding more. I tell my patients that my goal is to keep you around so new things come, so we can keep going. If you stick around, you'll be around when the new stuff comes, right? And I think also it's different if you didn't get diagnosed. You were, I think, stage 3. So that's different than, you know, coming in as stage 4. So the 5 to 7 years, if you had stage 2, and then later on you obviously you would live longer. But again, the other comment that I want to make about what I tell my patients is this: there's this idea that somehow if you don't come in and get checked and you don't get found out, then somehow your quality of life will be better. But you know, if you remember, one of the 2 reasons we treat people is to make you live longer and to improve your quality of life. And Jules, I'm sure you've seen those folks who did not come in, and their quality of life is horrible. You eventually,
Yes.
when this thing spreads, you know, it can be quite devastating. So
It is not good.
It's not good. So actually, that's the more reason you actually want to come in and be diagnosed, because one of the other things that happens is not only do you get treatment, but we aim to improve your quality of life. And there are other things that come along with that. There are other things that come along with being seen every so often, so that you don't just show up with something big, necrotic, just growing, or God forbid it goes into your brain or it goes to other places. And so but I always hear this idea that people, you know, when they eventually come in and things are bad, they somehow thought that it's almost like the ostrich, right? That think that if you hide, then nothing will happen because you're hiding. But that doesn't work that way. And I know Jules, you've seen it. It doesn't work that way. You've seen those people, and it doesn't end up. So that's the more reason that you need to come in early. And even if it's not early, even if you come in late, it's still better, because some of the things that we do actually improves your quality of life. It's not even just about treating you and curing you, but it's also about improving your quality of life.
Sure. Breast Cancer Awareness Week right here on MQF with 3 amazing people: Juliet Mills-Lutrot, Pink for Africa, the incredible Chewa Century, 20 years breast cancer survivor, and of course our own oncologist right here, Dr. KB. KB, you know something? When Breast Cancer Awareness Month comes around, you know, you see a lot of guys getting excited, and then I see a lot of videos going around. Oh, you are encouraged to suck somebody's breast. It helps reduce breast cancer and all that. And sometimes you don't even know, is that a joke, or are people really being serious about that? So today I just want you to confirm: is this when you do that, does it reduce the chances of a female getting breast cancer, or is that just brothers trying to get a leeway through?
I don't think they've done any big studies to confirm it. It's anecdotal.
It's just brothers trying to.
You know how we are. Anything that's good for us, we go along with it.
Cool.
So
So that definitely is
fish-
But I've
not
seen,
one
So-
I've
thing.
actually
But,
seen it in a lot of platforms,
Uh-huh.
but I haven't actually seen the big study that has shown the data. But I've seen it in a lot of platforms. And my guess is that there's
Doc, how
smaller, there are certain
the
studies
lactating?
that are smaller, anecdotal things that suggest that.
but it's not
So,
true.
Doc, how about the lactating mother? I feel like the conversation danced around a breastfeeding mother and how when a woman is breastfeeding, her chances of breast cancer is a little reduced. And the men heard it and they ran with it.
Well, that actually is true. So there's some, more, I guess, studies that seem to suggest that breastfeeding decreases the risk.
Reduce, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more. There's more data to suggest that. Just like
But you know,
that if you've had children, just even
right,
having had
exactly,
pregnancies,
exactly,
reduces your risk of having breast cancer.
Let's see.
right.
Okay.
I think that in Ghana, because men play with the idea of anything about breast, there is the jokes, there is the stories, I decided in the last few years just to ride with it because I realized the least I can do is get them to listen. The least I can do to get them to pay attention. So you know what? If having an intimate moment with your wife allows you to feel that breast and touch it and make sure that you can check it right, let me show you how to check it so you know what to look for.
Yeah, but
that was
So
actually
I
the
think-
thing I was going to say, that even if maybe it might not even be is the sucking the breast that does it, but it could be that playing and actually noticing, because there are people who come in and say,
Exactly.
my partner noticed this lump and my partner, so again,
Yeah.
there's something to be said for that.
yeah, but I know there's somebody who
So
actually
we're trying to help.
yeah, well, on the
And-
husband and wife side.
And
always-
they don't-
1%, we always wanna help.
1% of men, yes. 1% of men also get breast cancer. As I'm talking to you, there are 2 men in Tamale who showed up very late. Most of the men show up late because they don't check their breast. Last year, there were 2 men in Okonfanoche, 1 in Kolebu, and some of them died. So men are showing up not as much as women, but they're still showing up with breast cancer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, breast cancer diagnosis.
In the US, we get about 2,500 cases of breast cancer in men a year. So, I mean, it's
Wow.
women, you're talking about 250,000. So it's not on the same scale.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly.
men do get breast cancer.
and it's pretty fatal when it does. I think I've mentioned before that the guy who actually one of the guys who taught me how to DJ, Jude Atai, that's how he passed away, breast cancer.
Mhm.
Anyway, there's a question on Zoom that I wanted to read out. Ifwa Poku, Ifwa Pong, she's in Canada. She's thank you all so much for the education and the work you're all doing in this area. I've always wondered if attention is being given to some of the traditional medicines like soursop teas and the turmeric, etc. Research in these areas may help because in our part of the world, shedding more light on the efficiencies of these may help. If we know that soursop or aluguintugui tea helps, then people could start drinking it every now and then. Moderation is key, and it may protect some from missing early detection. So we know on the herbal stuff is cool. There's another question somebody asked.
Again, when they use medicine, when they say medicine, that bothers me because it's really an antioxidant that they drink. It's all good for your body. It's good to eat healthy. But you have to be very careful when you're representing herbal medicine or any process as medicine when it comes to cancer. So many of our women know it for the little minor stuff. But when it comes to cancer, please, we need to leave that to the doctors. It's one thing to maintain a good health and it's one thing to treat cancer. I think that's where the lines get blurry.
Which reminds me of
I couldn't emphasize that more, that there's a difference between complementary. I call them complementary. A lot of my patients come in, because every time you have cancer, you always have people telling you, take this, take that, take this. So they always come in with a whole bunch of vitamins and this, and is it okay to take this and that? And so we have to look up these things. And some of them, we say, fine, I'm not one of these people or doctors who say, no, absolutely not, only our medicine. No, some things are complementary. Turmeric is good. It's good for your immune system, and it can always help. Some things, what I look for is just to make sure that, okay, whatever you're bringing, I just look to make sure it's not interacting with the chemo that is proving to help them. As long as it's not interfering with what we're doing, I say, fine, you can take it. But you're right, where it's being, professed to be a medicine, because they're not medication, and that's what you have to be careful about.
Yeah.
Just like I know some fruits you don't want to take with certain medications. You're taking grapefruit, and
exactly, because they might interact.
Exactly.
Right.
There was another comment from YouTube. I'll take it up. It says, if Jews will know this, that the religious leaders and herbalists should be roped into helping with early detection campaign. They are very powerful in our people's lives. Jews, helpful?
Listen, I'm beginning to feel that we definitely need to have a sit down with our pastors and our herbal people, because he's right. They are very influential. And when it comes to religion and what people believe in and the dedication to what they believe in, it's so important for us to really partner up with some of these people to say, listen, we need your help. We need to get into the churches. There are churches who do not want me to come and speak about early detection,
I'm sure.
And so it is important. But I also know that a lot of people fall short, whether they're educated or they're not, to these circumstances. And we need to break that cycle. So we need to, he's very right. Whoever asked this question or suggested, excellent suggestion.
Susan,
we need to find ways to partner up and get them to be a part of it.
Cool. All right. We could go on and on and on. It's only right for me to go around and say final word. Dr. KB, what's our final word to anybody listening out there and still has some trepidations of when it comes to checking?
Well, final,
or even not just checking. I'll leave the checking to Jews. For medication, fear of medication that they are taking, that I might as well just go with what I have. The medication might make me feel worse.
So this is more for somebody who has the breast cancer. So fortunately, in this side of the world, it's not as big of a problem. I mean, most people, we always joke here that people want to live to be 100 in America. They want to keep coming and getting more medication. Occasionally, you get people who, read things about the things on the internet and all the different side effects. And so it's more education. And, if you educate them and say, yes, if you look at a bottle of Tylenol, you'll be surprised at all the things that they can tell you that a bottle of Tylenol can cause. So yes, we have to tell you that these things can happen, but most of them don't happen. There's some that are also going to happen. I think if you're honest and you say, okay, these side effects you're going to get, so that when it happens, they don't feel like you didn't tell them. But these drugs save lives. I mean, we've seen how things used to be. That's the most exciting part about the field, that even in the time that I've been an oncologist, you just keep seeing us moving the needle. So again, there's going to be better drugs. We are always working on trying to get drugs that work better, less side effects. But again, we can't overemphasize, coming back to Juice's point, that in breast cancer, the biggest thing is getting diagnosed early, because that actually saves lives. We're always going to work on the unmet need, which is how can we improve when it's already spread and keep people going and being very mindful of their quality of lives at that point. Because I always say that when you can't cure somebody, their quality of life also becomes very, very important. But these medications, because you see what happens when people don't, people, there are always about 3-4% of people who say, no, I'm not going to do this. And eventually unfortunately, they end up coming back to see you.
When
So,
it's too late.
yeah, when it's too late. And it's actually one of the saddest things. It's not the person that you couldn't have done anything for anyway. It's those that you feel like you could have actually done something, but now you're coming too late. So, but it's a conversation. And I think here, we actually spend time and talk to patients and make sure they understand. When we do, chemotherapy, we actually bring people for a class and teach them about the drugs. I understand Ghana, the resources aren't there. You might not be able to do this. When you come for your class, we encourage you to bring someone, because as Jules said, the support. One, we want to make sure you have support or see that you have support. But the other thing is you get so forgetful. I'm sure Jules, Chewizi, you can attest to that. You just get forgetful. There are a lot of times that you can't remember stuff when you're going through chemotherapy. So every time, the more people, we encourage people to come with you and ask questions, because when you ask questions, we can answer those questions. So we find that to be very helpful.
Awesome.
And we're gonna keep pounding because of Wheezy and people like Wheezy. They keep us going.
Jules, Pink for Africa.
I just want to say that, as a country, we don't share enough of our health history. It's very important for us to pass on our health history to the families, because I was diagnosed at 40. My son just turned 31. It is vital that he checks his breast. Every niece in my family needs to do the same. And these are the things that help us, navigate through our health life. So please, I encourage all of you, early detection does save lives. I am a result of early detection. I'm standing here 14 years. And I can tell you breast cancer is still the best thing that ever happened to me, because it really allowed me to appreciate life in a way that I never thought. So please, 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 what Doc said is paramount. You have to be the first advocate to your health. You, not anybody else. So please do this so the doctors can brag they saved your life.
And then finally, the lovely Miss Century. Chiwa, your final word to all your fans watching you here right
now. Just like what Jules said, I mean, everybody should, the month is not over yet. Those who haven't been to go and check on their breast should do that. If you love me so much, like you saying you love me, do that for me. This is what I'm asking from everybody. Everybody should go out there and go and check on themselves, because I don't wish anybody to actually go through what I am going through. You understand? And you might think that is easy, but it really is not easy. And I don't wish this for my worst enemy. So go out there, go and test. Early detection is the key, and then you can get saved. If I am being saved if I've been saved for all this time, you can also be saved if you get your diagnosis early. So please go out there and get tested. I love you all.
We love you more, and we're looking forward to
see you next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to splitting a bottle of Wheezy Blue with you.
See?
Guys, our wonderful guests for this evening. We know we could carry on and on, but it's been amazing listening to them. Juliet Mills-Luttrell, Juliet and her Pink for Africa. A passion, like Juliet said, for the first time, she explained it last time. If I allow Juliet to explain it again, we'll be here for another 30 minutes, because one thing Jules can do is talk. And she said it today and said it the last time as well, that the best thing that happened to her was getting breast cancer. Because it allowed her to take care of herself more, right? And speaking to a lot of people. There's a lady who was on the show 2 years ago, and as soon as she listened to you guys, the same three of you here and Cynthia Kwaku sent me a message, if you're sure I'm going to check. And then when she went, they found something in there. So she's a survivor. She would have been on today, but she had some visitors and said, "Oh, sorry, is it okay if I can be on your show to talk about what happened to me last year?" I said, "Yeah, we can do that next year. No problem about that."
That's awesome.
thank you. Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
encourage,
Yeah,
and
That's awesome.
even if it's just one person who listens to us on MQF
yeah.
and goes ahead to go to the next level, we'll be happy with it. But Chewa, I mean, come on. Yeah, the enthusiasm, a lot of people admire your strength, and I am, of course, one of them. No doubt about that. Happy belated birthday, anyway.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
belated birthday, darling.
Well, Chilmo, I know. You'll miss Christmas in Accra this trip. It's a little too early for you, but the next one, yeah, full swing ahead.
Who is going to miss Christmas?
You will you be in Accra? Christmas?
Hey, Echo Pa.
Hey,
You'll be there live in action.
All right, we'll be there.
Echo, thank you so much for creating this platform and allowing us to come up as well. This is really, really wonderful. Doc, it's always good to see you.
Always good.
Shay Wizzy, I love you, man.
Love you too. God, I can't wait to meet you personally when I
Doc.
get to America.
No. Oh, you haven't. KB hasn't met Chewy yet.
No, we haven't met in person.
You just met Jules. Oh, we have to make that happen.
Yes,
definitely
yes.
have to make
Doc
that
has met
happen.
me a few times.
We just met in Jersey just last month, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll still collaborate and do something.
No doubt.
Please.
Ghana is where you can really make an impact.
On the website now.
Yes.
On in front of you now, you all see the website for Pink for Africa, and this is where you can donate to Jules, and you know the good work she does, and you can also feel proud about being part of that good work. Just log on to pinkforafrica.com. She always says nothing is too big or too small. It will go a long way to help somebody who needs transportation just from their home to the hospital to get help. So one way or the other, we can all help. Firstly, by creating awareness. Secondly, by the financial contributions. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jules. Thank you, Chewizzy.
And thank you for sure. I mean, this is a wonderful platform.
Thank you.
No problem.
This is.
Thank you. I mean,
For
look, I
sure,
told
you're
Chewa.
the man. Thank you, bro.
It's all about you guys, man. I told Chewizzy I was talking 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I said, yeah, Chewizzy, it's October. She said, yeah, MQF, we're going to talk. I said, cool. Then I heard about the travel. We communicated, and I said, oh, she might not be strong enough to do this. He's like, no, we'll do the interview. So then I pulled back again. I didn't even want to get in touch. Then 2 days ago, she sent me a message. For sure, what's the Zoom link? I said, hey. So I checked my time. I said, yeah, the interview is 5:30. It will be 3 a.m. where she is. So I tried to, Tuesday it's 3 a.m., but we can record it previously. And I said, no, I'm going to be live. I saw tell Belinda, Tuesday, Charlie. So this morning we vibe again. And she's like, yeah, I'm ready. I'll be there. And she was right there from, hang tight. And I know the video was off, but she was definitely funny. That's what she is. And it's that will, that enthusiasm, that excitement to live, to fight on. To fight on is what has kept her here for a long time. I can't wait to spend Christmas 2030 with Chewizzy, man. We go chill brutal. That's just about 8 years. Big time. So thank you all very much. Thank you all. Have a
Good
wonderful
night, everybody. Chewizzy, we'll talk soon, baby.
Good morning.
Bye.
Wow. Wow. To all my strong, independent women. Yeah. Salute. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. The gift of life astounds me to this day. I give it up for the woman. She is the constant wind that fills my sail. Oh, that woman. 'Cause with a style and a smile, she'll protect you like a child. That's a woman. Strength of a woman.
The strength of a woman. 14 years breast cancer survivor and founder of Pink for Africa, Juliet Mills Lutrot. 20-year breast cancer survivor,
I gotta put a scent of a woman.
Chewa Century. And of course, the oncologist, Dr. KB Osebi. Thank you all so much. Those were your guests this afternoon. Or this evening, as I'll put it. Next week on the show, a breast cancer survivor as well. And she tells her story. Lorraine Sally Mensah.
Them hips, she's got me whipped, and it's just.
And of course, from Safe Haven, Janet Braco-Hiapa. And yet another breast cancer survivor, double, would all be with us on the show next week as we continue our series on breast cancer awareness right here on MQF.
So don't you underestimate strength of a woman.
Doing our own little thing, our own little way, spreading our awareness through our love for music. We started off our interest, of course, with supporting the hospitals through the COVID era. And over the months and years, we've taken it through orphanages in Ghana. And every month we try to put up a cause that we can support. And of course, in October, it is breast cancer awareness. And Pink for Africa is the one we've been working with through it all. So you can go to pinkafrica.com and support one way or the other. Jules doing wonderful things with all that she has. In December is back with our orphanage over in Accra. Our orphanage is over in East Legon.
So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. The gift of life astounds me to this day. I give it up for the woman. She's the constant wind that fills my sail.
Sorry, got distracted for a second. The Agape Orphanage, the orphanage we've been supporting for the past 2 years. Pleased to announce that one of the oldest kid in the orphanage when we started supporting them back in 2020.
That's a woman.
Now heading over to law school. So thank you for all your contributions. We'll be doing that again in December. So be ready to help us out when we call on that. And of course, more information of that in 2023. MQF calendar, we'll discuss that later. For those in the US, of course, you know, it's the cruise thing coming up. Christmas, something coming up soon. Watch out for announcement next week. And then our key program, the MQF Dinner Dance. More information on that, hold on tight. Breast Cancer Awareness Week in the month of October. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I gotta put a scent of a woman.
Strength of a woman. Strength of a woman.
Now picture if you would what life would be. It ain't much good without that woman. She can be a constant pain. Oh, that woman. But with them hips, she's got me whipped, and it's just too hard to resist. What a woman. Yeah. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to a higher place. So don't you underestimate strength of a woman.
And just like that, we're beginning to wind down on 180 minutes of music right here on MQF. Stay tuned for more information on the flyers for what's coming up next week as we continue a series of breast cancer awareness month. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes, the team bringing it together.
Be a comfort when you cry, if you look into her eyes.
to Belinda, to Lillian, to Peter and Paula Kwabwa, to Adrian, to Sewa, Nana Sapon, of course, and to each and everyone out there who supports us each and every week. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, thank you.
My reggae woman, she'll put a smile upon her face and take you to a higher place. So don't you underestimate strength of a woman.
You're in the mix with DJ Fish Show.
And that's how I like to end today's show, with this one. God bless you each and everyone out there. Catch you on the safe side next week. The pleasure as always is always mine. The name is Echo Fish Show. God bless you. Have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.
Turn my pit into a well. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. I've been through a lot, but grace sustained me. My test is now a testimony. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. It was you, my lawyer in that courtroom. It was you, my soldier on that battlefield. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. Hey, Adumo, Nyame, Adumo, Adum, Adum intina metiasi, Eya Wadum tina bewo. Lord, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. Hey, Adumo, Nyame, Adumo, Wadum. Eya Adum intina metiasi, Eya Wadum tina bewo. Lord, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. Who has changed my story? Who has given me a song? Turned my mourning into dancing. It is you and just your grace. You have changed my story. Protocol breaker, you made a way. You turned my mourning into dancing. It is you and just your grace. Could not have made it without you. Hey. Could not have sailed through without you. Your loving kindness, grace, and mercy brought me through. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Adum. Could not have made it without you. Hey, could not have sailed through without you. By your loving kindness and grace and mercies brought me through. So the essence of my praise is all centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, hey, Adum, Adum, hey, Adum, Adum, Adum intina metiasi, Adum intina metiasi. All the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. You have been.
Thank you, everybody. Adum.
By your stripes, I am healed, I am free. So So the essence of my praise is because of your great love.
All right, let me stretch it back a little bit.
It was you.
Somebody's official. I like it when you mention our names. Oh, Jesus. So let me rewind it and I'll mention your names.
My soldier on that battlefield. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, adum, adum. Hey.
All right then, thank you each and everyone out there. Enjoy your week ahead. If all upon respect, man. Akostra AstraZeneca, Ekia Arthur, Ekia Tubra. My man Alfred Sakifio, have a wonderful week. I'm Poku Amosebi. Belinda, drive safe as you hit the road. Benedicta, the Nate family, Delaware, live. Bridget and Pacheco, what's up? Hey, Rob Nabo, Dr. Taki, Flora in the building, the Black Door, Jeannie Asante, Beatrice and Francis Achampo. Hey, Ivy Rose, Jackie, oh, Jackie, live. Jennifer and the crew, Jimmy and Marion. Ohio, there are you, my man, cause respect, man. Letitia, I didn't see the Chelsea flag, but it's all good, man. California love, Linda Sapon.
Protocol breaker, you made a way.
Levy, Otinelwo, Catalonia and Merchant May, Sausage Rolls, Lloyd Hughes and Effie, Lyrics and Anita, Miss Marion, Mary Dugbate. Absolutely not. Nasho, man, the Ando family. Nana Sewa, handkerchief time. Ninette.
Your loving kindness.
Live from Turkey, Nana Sapon.
Brought me through. So the essence.
Or Daddy Radio, Afro Star Radio, or him, Paula Champo, Petro from the mountains of Utah, Preba in the building, Ruth, Stanley T, Cynthia and all the Canadians, the Black Door, enough respect, Vida Butcher, Yvonne, buy one, get one free, Dayline Caller, Sophie Arthur, Saksa, Ruthie Aite, Alas, Hobby, Patricia Megashi, Nakwale, Kwame Chuesi Fuju, Juliet Adesina, Susan Eduai, Nah, and all of you out there, too many to mention. Peace and blessings to you, man. The name is still the same. It's Fisho here. Catch you live next week, same time.
You have been my doctor on that sick bed. By your stripes, I am healed, I am free. So the essence of my faith is because of your great love. The essence of my praise is just because of your great love.
Yeah, this is Bonkuwa. My brother, Professor Eko Atempo, DJ Fisho. Today, birthday party in America, Maryland. He's stealing and killing everywhere. I will not pay. I can't keep waiting. Papa, yo yedo na kabweje ko. Oyin ibi enye chi oyin. This is Grandma Kamoko, aka Bukoma, only a foolish dog run after the flying birds. Ekwa Chambu, you are the best solution in the country. Ekwa Chambu, you are the best solution in the country. Ekwa Chambu, you are the best solution in the country. Say Bonkuba.